Hello there, my beautiful and handsome listeners and viewers. How are you today? How has your day been? Mine has been beautiful because I have got a beautiful mind. You are welcome to your reality talk show, Beautiful Mind. This is the show where we say no to stigmas, discriminations, and any judgmental attitude. Our aim is to let people know that they do not need to suffer in silence because help is readily available. Beautiful Mind believes that everyone deserves love and respect, regardless of their past, the disability, illness, education, color, sex, or sex orientation. You are welcome on board. Why don't you grab yourself a cup of tea, hot chocolate, water, coffee, soup, whatsoever that makes you feel comfortable. Please sit down and come along with us. And if you are coming back from work and you're driving, listening via our online radio, Peace and Joy, please drive carefully as you enjoy today's show. Remember that you can connect with us on all our social media. Like I always say, I don't want you to leave the show to just myself and my guest. We want to hear your views. We want to know what you have to say. So please feel free to send in your comments, your views, and your contributions. Remember that you can call us on here on 079-603-91983. I repeat that. And if you're calling or texting outside UK, please put +44 709 603 91983. Please, 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 we want to hear your views this afternoon. Yes, and the topic of our discussion today is don't be afraid to fail. I know I don't like to use the word fail on Beautiful Mind, but for the benefit of people that love to use the word, and that is why we are using that word today. So don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. You know, a lot of people do not try, but they are afraid of being a failure, of being called a failure. And I have, for the very first time today on Beautiful Mind, Mrs. Moji David. Oh my God. I am not going to tell you anything about this woman. I've just met her. In fact, I've not met her face to face, but we've been chatting, and I can tell you that she is a woman of God. She loves the people of God, and she just wants to bless and bless, you know. And today she has come to bless us on Beautiful Mind. So please do not go anywhere because today's show is going to be informative and educative. Please, I know there are a lot of jargons out there, and it is not everything you want to post on your wall. But I want to assure you that today's show, it is worth sharing. So please help us share this video because I believe a lot of people need to see this. A lot of people need to hear what Mrs. David is going to share with us this afternoon. So please go ahead and bless somebody today. Be a blessing to somebody by sharing this video. Right? I'm going to call on Mrs. Davis this afternoon to introduce herself to my viewers and my listeners. And again, it's just for the benefit of people that are meeting her for the very first time. Mrs. Davis, can you please introduce yourself to my viewers and my listeners?
All right. Good evening, everybody. From wherever you're listening to us from. I'm simply Moji David. I like to be called Farmer Moji David because I'm a farmer. I'm an agripreneur. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm an unrepentant child of God. No going back for me on that. And I'm a business coach as well. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm just me, Moji David. Thank you.
Humble.
Thank you.
Yes, that is what I would say. She is just so humble. Thank you. Thank you. You will get to know more about her today. And if you are meeting me for the very first time, my name is Adeyinka Adeomi, and I am your host of this beautiful program that comes live every Wednesday, 5 to 6 p.m. Yesterday we started a bit late, but please stay and bear with us. Yes, the topic for today is do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. I want you to tell somebody, or if you are watching alone, text somebody that I'm watching something today and I really want you to be part of it. Right. Mrs. David, can you please tell us a bit about your background, please?
Oh, my background, I'm just a simple Yoruba lady. I was born in the western part of Nigeria towards the end of the 70s, and I went to school in Oyo State. Later, I migrated, let's say migrated to Lagos State. I have been in Lagos, except for the few years we had to leave the country like everybody does for a greener pasture, something like that. So I actually studied to be an accountant. So I'm an accountant by profession, by training. Yes, I'm an accountant by training, but well, I wouldn't say I'm not practicing accounting because I'm actually practicing accounting even with my work in extra large farms. So, but presently, right now, um, I am one of the directors at Extra Large Farms. It's a food and agricultural company in Nigeria, and everything about us is just food, farming, and empowerment. We love to eat healthy. We love to be in agribusiness. We love to produce quality food, and we also love to encourage other people to come into that business because we know many people are not interested in that line of business. So, from our years of experience, we like to, lend like a resting shoulder to people who are passionate about agriculture to come into it. And then we are all about empowerment because we know that there are a lot of things going, especially in Nigeria, there are a lot of things that are going on, and we just want to be like a bedrock of hope to many people. So we are into empowerment, different forms of empowerment opportunities are available also as well. But apart from that, I love women. I love everybody. But I'm very passionate about women because women are of a weaker vessel, sort of. And, even when they are not discriminating us, we are discriminating ourselves. When they are not looking down on us, we are looking down on ourselves. So we need some of us who God has given the spirit of courage and boldness, to be able to encourage others. Because I strongly believe that God comforts you so that you can comfort others. So that's why I'm also a motivational person. I'm an ambassador of hope. I love to talk about hope, hope, hope. Things can be better. The future is yours. You can be great. These are my kind of things. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for telling us a bit more about yourself. You used to live abroad, from my findings and, speaking to you. And at some point, you took a bold step, to 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 come to abroad, rather to come to look for a greener pasture. How long were you, in abroad for? Um, did you get what you went to look for abroad?
What are you looking for abroad? Okay, let me just use this opportunity to tell everybody who is still abroad right now that please come back home. Please come back home. Home is where the future is. The land is green here. There is nothing you're doing abroad, you know. Basically, it was my husband that has been abroad for many years, actually. He was the one abroad for many years. And at a time, he came back to Nigeria, to start up some things. And, as things were going on in Nigeria, everybody wants to live a better life. You just discover that the way things are being run in this country, especially for people who have big dreams, and you're like, things there are no enabling environments in Nigeria. So not because we were not doing well, but because we felt, well, we can go to a better place where, things can be, the environment is more enabled. So we were out for together now, for call 4 years, 4 years going to 5 years. Yes, we were out like that, and then before we now, finally came back. We were, it wasn't like just a straight journey. We were going, doing businesses, trying one thing or the other before we eventually came back home.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that short encouragement, I would say. And did you hear what Mrs. David said? She said, wish he come back home. That includes me. Yes. One day your darling husband told you that he had, an instruction from God when you were still abroad. Can you please share with us this evening, what he told you God told him?
That part always makes me laugh because, one day, I think it was in the evening, one day, can I really remember the date in particular? And he said, he calls me T. T, God told me we're going back to Nigeria. And we're going back to do agriculture. So God told him we should go back to Nigeria and go into agriculture. We've always been into agriculture at our level. We've always been into agriculture. I remember even when we were not yet married, we've been married for about close to 20 years now. We've been together for over 23 years. So even when we're not married, we're always talking about, we're always looking up to Obasanjo farms. That time, one day we'll have a farm, it will be as big as Obasanjo farms. And my husband had this funny thing in Yoruba. He would say, Baba Elede Yela Mawasi, Ẹ̀yin wá dára lórí iṣu. That was way back then. We were not even married, and he was just, sharing things, dreams, and everything he has with me. So, but that fateful day just came back and said, God said we are going back to Nigeria and going into agriculture. And guess, this one is for all of us women, for all women who are listening to me right now. I just want to encourage you on this note. When he said that, the first thing, me being human, the first thing was, Oga, please go to Nigeria. You can see that these children are still young. And I really need to stay with these children. I need to take care of them. And I'm a praying woman. So please, you go to Nigeria and do your business, whatever God told you to do. And let me stay back and take care of these children. That was my first reaction, But almost immediately, like a minute or two after, I just told him, okay, don't worry. Let me just think about it. And he was trying to also make me see reasons that we can't be separated. We didn't start our marriage on that level. We are one of the set of people who don't believe in marriage in diaspora, like you're in Nigeria, your husband is abroad or something like that. We have to be together. Bible says that this one will leave the father or the mother, and the two shall become one. You can't become one and be staying in different places. That's our own belief. You have a right to disagree, So he said, we just have to be together. It's not about somebody leaving and everything. I said, well, please give me some time. Let me pray. If God has told you, then my ears also are not deaf. You should tell me as well. Let me listen, because I will need the conviction, because what you're asking us to go and do is not something that is funny at all. Going back to Nigeria is a big deal. Then going back into agriculture is a bigger deal, going back into farming. So I told him to give me some time. Let me pray about it as well before I'll give him the answer. But it wasn't so long, I also prayed about it. I got some conviction, and then I just agreed with him.
So, how was he able to convince you? I really want to hear that part. How was he able to convince you?
Let's say because we've been together for many years, about 23 years now. So I know when he tells me God said something, he doesn't joke with that, and he doesn't make up something to make you feel good, or because he wants you to believe something and he will tell you God told him. He doesn't do that. And he doesn't do it all the time. So if he's coming out to tell me God said, if he says God said, so I didn't doubt him, though I wasn't so pleased with the idea, but I didn't doubt him in any way. So that's why it didn't really take me so much time to just, agree after I prayed as well.
Thank you. Thank you for the part that you said, though you were not so pleased with it, because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going to ask you, why agriculture in all things? If my husband said, "Oh, Yinka, you were moving back to Nigeria and we're going into this big property, or some kind of investment," I'll be excited. But
Yeah.
to go and get my hands dirty, oh my God, I don't think I want to do that. You know, did you not ask why agriculture of all things?
Yeah, he said, God said.
Hmm.
Our marriage, even the marriage is based on what the word of God says. So once he says, God said, so I don't need to ask him too many questions because I know he himself is a chemist by training. He
Wow.
studied chemistry at the University of Lagos before he moved back to Germany, to do some other courses and everything to advance in education. So it's not like I know he has a dream for agriculture, but it's not something we were planning on our own. So once he says God said, then that means it's settled. He said, God said it, I believe it, that settles it. He's not speaking in his own capacity as a husband. He's speaking on behalf of somebody, which is God, who created the two of us. So that didn't really give me too many. Yes, Greek. Why Greek? Why? And I can tell you, I don't know if time will permit us to begin to share about all the terrible experiences we had. So
Oh,
many
that is
terrible.
exactly where I'm going now.
Oh
That is
my
what
God.
I'm going to ask you now because, relocating to Nigeria is not an easy thing. It doesn't make sense to some people. Can you please share with us, some of the experiences that you had to go through, setting up as a farmer in Nigeria?
My sister, I must tell you, it's not a smooth road at all. Farming itself is difficult, very, very difficult.
Mm,
Then doing it in Nigeria is much more difficult. Um, like when he was in Germany at the initial stage, he worked. In fact, I think that was one of the things that God has a way of orchestrating your steps towards what you will eventually do. So
mm,
he was working in a farm, that time. So the way things are done outside of the country, the way things are done outside of Nigeria makes it very, very easy for you to just, want to do certain things. But it's not like that here in Nigeria. Starting from acquiring your land is a big deal. Right, you've paid for this land, you've bought the land, but they don't want you to actually take the land. I don't know if you understand. Like you've paid for the land, but the original people who sold the land to you, they just want to
mhm.
collect your money and frustrate you out of the land so that they can have it back. And they will do anything within their powers, spiritually, physically, You
Mm,
won't be able to get workers to work on your farm. The roads are terrible. They start stealing your produce. The
mm,
machineries you can't have access to machineries to work on your farm at the right time. So many things, so many headaches. Even right locating structures in the middle of a bush, so many discouraging things. And when you just look, if you know all this before you start, you may
mm,
not even start at all.
mhm.
And that's why I believe that nobody should be afraid to fail. Because
Mm,
when you are planning all the things, when you're looking at, maybe you have a project at hand, and many of us, like, I'm an accountant and I love to know what I'm doing even before I start doing it. I like to know, have an idea, what is this thing going to be like? And you're drawing up a schedule for your project or you're making your plans, there are some questions that will come along the line during your planning stage, and those things will shake your feet, and you'll be like, am I sure I'm going to be able to carry through all those things, But if you're just looking at all those negativities, you will never be able to start. And I believe that was why in the Bible there are 365 fear nots, because
Wow.
God knew that we will need one at least for a day,
Every day.
So as you're overcoming something that will make you afraid today, not even every minute, there are things, there are challenges. If you aspire to be big, if you aspire to be successful, there are so many ladders to climb. Every stage you get to will be challenging.
Thank
So if you're always thinking about the failures, the
you.
challenges and everything, you may never start.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I believe everybody uses God's excuse for their actions. And how did you know that it was actually God that instructed your husband and including yourself, because you believed him and you went with him? How did you know it was God that instructed all of you to move back to Nigeria? I asked that question because so many people are waiting on God, before they can take that bold step, and they're not hearing God clearly. And some of them are saying, I don't even know if God is speaking. I can't hear. How did you know that it was God?
Thank you very much. I think the principal witness that we have when we say God spoke to us about something, the witness that we can have in our spirit is peace. If you say God told you something, then there is this inner peace that you will have. And that's when when your mind is troubled, I'm not sure if it's God or it's just my ambition or something like that. I shared with you something before we came online. I told you about when I said I wanted to go and pray about it. I already had um, um, an answer in my heart, and the answer was that I didn't want to go back to Nigeria. And the Bible says that when you have, can you put me through? That when you have an altar in your heart or something, that God will not hear you. You understand? So I already knew that I would be wasting my time trying to press further and further. Once God has said, okay, this is the way to go about it, and you pray about it, and you're experiencing this peace. There's a peace that comes when God is involved. And that conviction will carry you for a very long time. So I knew, and up to today, I still know that we didn't make a mistake coming back to Nigeria. We didn't make a mistake venturing into agriculture, because that peace, that inner peace is there. Even in the face of the challenges and everything, you will still be at peace. And everybody around you will be wondering, why are they not troubled? Why are they so calm like this? Because it's not you that is at peace. It is the word of God that settled everything that is on the inside of you that made you to be so peaceful.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much for that. I love that word peace. I wrote something about it of recent. It is very, very good to have peace. When you have peace, you know that surely God is in it. There
Yes.
is this belief, Mrs. David, there is this belief in Nigeria that people who relocated to Nigeria are really loaded, and they've come with plenty of money. How did you manage that stereotype?
Even if you've gone to be a janitor, they will still, they still believe that. And that's one problem that most people are having, in Nigeria today. When they just come, or they're like, Otide, they just want to scam you. Even your relatives, they just feel, why are you miserly? Like, why are you keeping the money to yourself? Yeah, let's spend this money. So, but I think I think the major solution to that is whatever you said you want to come and do in Nigeria, you must be knowledgeable about it. Or else you will fall into wrong hands and they will scam you and collect your money, and that will be the end. So you must be knowledgeable about it. So when you said you're doing your thing, you are ready to, they see you that you know what you're doing,
What you
not
do.
that you are depending on them to do it. Because when they know that you're just depending on them to do it as a returnee, they just want to collect all your money. They just want to collect all
Thank
your money.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This question, you might find it, personal, my next question, but I believe I'm asking this question for the benefit of our viewers, because when you told me about what Extra Large Firm is doing in Nigeria, I see it as a big vision. And I really want to ask, how were you able to plot and execute your plan from nothing to something that is big in that same Nigeria, where a lot of people are complaining of lack of opportunities?
Oh, how do I answer this one now? You can never take the God factor out of it. That's number one, the God factor out of it. You can't take it out. Number two is the power of unity. When you're working together as one, you understand. You're pursuing the same dreams, you're pursuing the same vision, the same goals. It makes it very easy for you to achieve your dreams. Number three, the Bible says that lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledging. So it's not like you are not even the owner of any idea. It is God that is giving you the idea. Do this. You follow him step by step. Even they may sound ridiculous. The ideas may be like, is this one going to work? But the one who called you is able to validate the call.
Wow.
So you are not just doing things on your own because you like to do this or because you like to do that, but because God has given you the idea and you are submissive enough, humble enough to follow his plans. He is the owner of the plan, so you just follow. It's only in the kingdom of God and in God's plan that I see him drawing out a plan. He has a project. That's God. He has a project and he invites you to come and man the project on his behalf.
Yeah.
He just needs you to be available. And
Wow.
he is the one to run the project by himself. And he ends up paying you for doing nothing because he
Wow.
did it by himself.
Wow.
He did it by himself. You didn't do anything.
Anything, and you're
The only
getting
thing
paid
you
for it.
did was to make yourself available. And if you didn't make yourself available, he said he can even raise stones to do
Replace.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
So you are
Wow.
not doing anything. So when we come to that point that I'm not the one, I'm not capable of doing anything.
Anything.
Holy Spirit take control. Then
Wow.
it will be very easy. It
Thank
will be
you.
very easy. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I hope you're taking note. She mentioned about God employing you, and you are not doing anything and you're still getting paid. Wow, that is fabulous. I would love to work God. I would love to work with God. I hope you will be able to say the same thing. Well, Mrs. David, it is, a general belief in Nigeria that you have to know somebody in the government, or you have to have like a money bank before you can have a breakthrough, so today somebody actually asked me to ask you that who is your godfather? Do you have any baba? So the one to know. I've been asked to ask.
Okay, you want to know our Godfather? You want to know our Godfather? Okay, are you ready to really
Godfather,
know?
I mean, the
Do you
godfather,
do you
yeah.
want to know? Do you want to know the person? Okay.
Well, not
Do
me.
you know the man? Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you the man. He's a very big man, a very big man.
Wow.
The one who seated in the heavenly places and makes the
Wow.
heart his footstool.
Wow.
The
Wow.
one who holds the heart of kings in his hands and he can
Mm-hmm.
toss it like water waves anywhere he wants.
Wow. Wow.
The one who owns 1,000 rams on 1,000 hills. The
Mm.
one who said the silver and the gold is mine. They are my
Wow.
instruments, and I will give it to whoever I wish.
Ah, I love
In
that.
Yoruba language, we call him Kabiosi. He
Yes, I love
chooses to
that
have
name.
mercy on whom
Mm.
he will have mercy upon. So when
Mm-hmm.
you have that man as
Mm.
your Baba
I
Saleh,
Sally.
all the other all the other kings, all the other earthly big
Papa
figures,
Sally.
they are his children. He calls them at will. So you don't
Mm.
need any godfather. Once you
Wow.
have the owner of all of them,
Mm-hmm. You have all of
it's like, yes, it's like when you have your house and you
them.
have your domestic staff, maybe like your
Yeah.
cook, your steward, your gardener, your security people, and everything. And you are a guest in that house. If
Mm.
somebody is a guest in that house and the person is hungry, you
Mm-hmm.
don't need to meet the steward or the cook of the house to
Mm-hmm.
ask for food because
Wow.
you are the guest of the owner of that house.
Mm-hmm.
So you only approach the owner of the house and tell him, "Guy, I'm hungry." And he will
Wow.
be the one to command his staff,
Mm.
attend to my guest.
Wow.
You get it now?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Yeah.
do. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Father, we thank you. We thank you. I just love the way you describe your Babai Saleh. I love I just love it. I love it. I don't know if,
Permit me to say this, please. Permit
yeah.
me to say this one. I'm a Yoruba woman, and I love
Mhm.
to just. There's a way we call God in Yoruba language. He says, "Oromo níṣẹ́ fàyàtì,
Mhm.
ògbéni níjà kẹ́rù ó bo níjà."
Yes. Wow. I wish I can speak Yoruba that deep. I
So
love
you've
it.
heard
I
it
love
now.
it.
Oromo
I
níṣẹ́
have
fàyàtì.
fire.
That
Yes,
means
I
when he sends
mhm.
you on an errand, he stands by
Yeah.
you. He doesn't leave you
Mm.
alone.
Hmm.
Yes. So you don't need any
Wow.
more Godfather than that.
I hope you'll be able to acknowledge this man that he has just described as your own father.
Yes.
Before you're talking about Baba Isale, you have to
Yes.
acknowledge him as your father, and he will
Yes.
be your father, he will be your great grandfather, he will be your Baba Isale, he will be your
Yes.
godfather. Wow,
Yes.
I love
Thank you.
that. He is the lily of valley, the
Yes.
wonderful one, the counselor, the prince of peace.
Yes.
He is the king
Yes.
of kings, the Lord of lords, the I am that I am, the lifter of
Hallelujah.
our heads. That is who we are
Hallelujah.
talking about this afternoon. I hope you will
Yes.
be able to acknowledge him as your father if you have not done so this afternoon. Wow, thank you very much, Ma, for that.
Thank you, my
Right.
sister. Thank
Can you please share with us this afternoon? Because some people, I believe, during the course of the show, we've mentioned some of it, but some people are afraid of starting because of some limiting beliefs that they are holding on to. Can you please share with us some of these limiting beliefs that people are holding on to that is stopping them from starting small?
you. The principal factor is fear of failing. You don't
Mm,
want to start because you're afraid of starting because you're afraid you might fail.
fail.
You understand? You are
Mhm.
afraid you might fail. But even from the Word of God, we got a lot of information from the Word of God.
Mm.
At the beginning, the Bible said that God created the earth, and it
Mhm.
was without form,
Mm.
it was void. There was nothing. How
Mhm.
come? And theologians have come to tell us a lot about that. Even from inspiration, we get that God will never create something without form.
Mhm.
So something happened,
Mm.
but he was fast and he rose up to the challenge. He said, "This is not how I want it to be. So let
Mm.
there be light."
Wow.
So that means that when you have a project, when you have a dream, when you have a vision, if God told you how the road will be from the beginning, you won't start. Because I
Mm.
can bet you there are many challenges along the way. And
Oh.
the good news is that those challenges are the things that will make you stronger. People
Mhm.
always say, "Oh, it's good now, you are saying it now." But
Mhm.
that's the way it is. You have to go through those challenges to be able to build up yourself.
Mm.
At least if you fail once, you have
Mm.
learned not to do it that way anymore.
Mhm.
Like for us in
Yeah.
the agri world, like for us in the agric world, you see a lot of people who come in today, "Oh, I want to go into pottery, I want to do this, I want to," they just say things they want to do, not because they know much about it, but they just love the idea of, "Oh, I'm a snail farmer. Oh, I'm
Mm.
a I'm a tomato farmer," and all
Yeah.
that. But when you've gone through a lot, when you've tried your hands on so many of such things, you will now be able to tell somebody that, "Oh, I will advise you not to go into this at this time." You
Mm.
understand? Because you are the person that is telling you has probably tried it and failed.
Mm.
It's a lesson for that person and then the
Mhm.
people to come.
Mm.
And I see that as a bigger blessing. Even if the only reason why you will fail is able to help others not to fail in that line, then it's
Mm.
good enough reason to fail.
Mhm.
It's a good enough reason to fail so that others will not also fall into that pit. So please,
That.
let's not be afraid of failure. You fail,
Mm.
so what? So what? And it's not, don't even see failure. I don't know what people call failure. I don't
Mm.
know what they call failure
Mm.
because it depends on what you also call success.
Mhm.
Your definition of success is what will also help you to determine what failure is. So let's
Mm.
not be afraid. Start. One thing you need to do is to make sure that God is with you on that journey because He
Mm.
will always take care of you. He said, "There is nothing that you're going to go through now that is new. Your brethren all over the world have gone through the same thing." It's in the
Mm.
book of Peter, Second Peter. Your brethren all over the world have gone through the same thing. So it's not new to you. But
Mm.
don't be afraid because I
Mhm.
have already made a solution
Yeah.
before the problem. And God
Mhm.
is a merciful God. He will not allow us to face a challenge that we know we don't have the capacity to
Amen.
overcome. So He will
Amen.
give you according to your size,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much,
according to
Ma.
your faith. Yes,
You know,
yes.
some people are listening to you right now and they have ideas, but they also have 1001 reasons why that thing, that idea that they held on to, why it won't work. Some may be saying, okay, it's so easy for you, Ma. You can come out now to say we can do this, we can do that, because you have enough capital and you have the connection. You know, what is your advice to this category of people that are afraid, of taking that bold step, and to those who don't even have enough capital or have any connections at all?
Okay, thank you very much. Now, talking about capital, I like to say this very, very boldly, with all confidence, with all Holy Ghost confidence, that you don't need money to start any business.
Wow.
Please, you
Mm.
don't need money to start business. What
Mm.
you need is God sense. Number one. And the second thing you need is favor.
Wow.
Remember that there was a place in the scriptures when the Israelites were in Egypt and things were so rough for them. The Bible recorded that when money failed in Egypt, that they were spending favor. Favor was their currency.
Currency, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not money you need, because you will discover that when you have that money, you will still fail. And especially in Nigeria, please permit me to say, everybody has a right to their opinions. You have a right to disagree with what I'm saying, but we have seen from experience that people who start up businesses with big money, they always fail first.
Wow.
And then they will now start again. They will now start again. For example, somebody wants to start. Okay, let me give you a very, very simple example of something you can start without money. For example, let's say a dry cleaning business in Nigeria of today. And you are like, oh, before I can start this dry cleaning business, I need to get an office. I need to get an office. I need to equip the office and get some tables and chairs and put my laptop there and then get a delivery van. All those things you are saying, you don't need them to start. You don't need them to start. All those things will come along when you are going. For example, we used to have some friends way back in the 90s. We used to have these friends who wanted to start a food processing company. They were into snacks. They were into snacks. So the wife was working in a big international company, and the husband was a pastor. He was just a full-time pastor. So they wanted to start the food business, and because they had some money from the wife, because she was working in a well-established company and all that. So when they wanted to start the business, they bought machines. They bought so many machines. They equipped the office. They got delivery vans and everything. But the business had not yet started. They had employed the factory they wanted to be using. They had already employed security people. Everything. They had a long list of personnel that they had to start paying almost immediately they started, even when the revenue was not yet coming in. And we looked at them at that time and we're like, these people are making a mistake. But it will be difficult for you to be it will be like you're discouraging somebody. So most times when you start business with big money, and you are not really knowledgeable or experienced about the business, there is tendency to fail. There's tendency to fail. So you don't really need big money to start business. Your passion. Are you passionate about that thing? That's the first thing. Then you need to call God. Let God be involved in it. And when He's there, He will favor you. When you're favored, you see everything will just be going smoothly. Start from however you can. You want to start a trade, you can start by helping others to sell what you intend to start selling before you eventually build your own brand.
Wow. Thank you. I love that, short example that people can actually relate with. What Mrs. Davids is saying this evening is you don't need quite a lot of money to start any business. That in fact, you don't need any money to start some business. And it depends on what you want to start. Yes. Thank you very much. Before we move further, I just want to talk about, some limiting beliefs that some people might have. Today, after watching this show, I want you to get a pen and a paper and try to identify what your own limiting beliefs are, because we are different and our own limiting beliefs are so different. So ask yourself, why is this thing stopping you? What can you do to stop it from stopping you? Ask yourself, how can you do that? How can you achieve that? And ask yourself, who can help you? Once you're able to identify all the limiting beliefs, then try to reframe them and challenge those beliefs, and take consistent actions. What is it that can stop you, that can help you? The actions that you're taking every day. And I believe you'll be able to overcome all these limiting beliefs. Thank you very, very much, Ma.
Thank
Ma,
you. Thank you.
no doubt, from meeting, I just connected with you not quite long. And from your itinerary that you've told me, I know that you are a very busy woman. How do you create a healthy balance between family and business?
It's about setting your priorities right,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that there is a time for everything.
Mm.
There's a time for everything. Nobody
Yeah.
is perfect. Me,
Mm-hmm.
as I'm talking to you, I'm not perfect. We are all working towards perfection. But you need to be able to set your priorities right and create a time for everything. Like, apart from talking about family and all that, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of many nations. I have so
I
many
love that.
children. I have so many children, even though I have few biologically, but I have so many people who calls me mommy. In fact, sometimes I feel embarrassed. I'm like, how can this big person be calling me mommy? I'm not a mommy,
Mm, mm,
So, but when you set your priorities and you know that you're not living for yourself alone, that you're also
mm,
living for a lot of people are looking up to you. You have a husband who sees you as nothing else but a wife, a companion.
mm, mm-hmm.
You have children who are looking up to you and they don't see you as any other person than
But
mommy
a mother.
and a role model at home. you
Yeah.
know. So, in as much as you're trying to make your job work, for people
Mm,
like me who work like 20 hours out of 24 hours in a day,
wow.
you still have to still create time for them. Let me give you a very good example. For example, this morning, I was billed to be on an interview on radio. It was already scheduled. They had given me the invitation and everything. But my daughter was starting up final exams in the secondary school. My last daughter, starting up her final exams in the secondary school today. And she's in the boarding school and she has to go and do all that. And the way we do our things in my family, we believe so much in the family support. We call it family support. So if somebody is doing something, everybody comes to encourage that person. So even if you're going to meet any challenges along the way, you look back and remember that you have a family that loves
Mm,
you, that supports
mm-hmm.
you and everything. And even though they had already announced the program on radio, blah blah blah, it's a famous station on radio. Not only me, myself and my husband, we had to drive down there to the school, to go and show some support. We had a lot of things listed on our to-do list for today. We cancelled so many. That family first. The way people take family, they put, I don't know if many people put God first. They put God, as if they even put God at all. Then they put their job. They put their job, and sometimes they put the things they like, and then
Mm,
maybe family will be like number 5 or
the
number
last on the
6.
list.
But
Mm,
yes, but the way it's supposed to be is God, your
mm-hmm.
family.
Mm,
Even if you are a pastor, even if you have a ministry, you are the general
mm,
overseer of that ministry. It's not supposed to be God, your ministry, and your family and other things. No, it's supposed to be God, your family, then your ministry or your job or whatever you have. So when we
wow.
set our priorities right, that this is the time for my family, then everything else can wait. That
Thank
helps us
you.
to create a balance. And then your family also knowing the kind of busy person that you are,
You
they will
have.
understand at other periods when you don't have time
Mm,
for them. They will understand that, oh, daddy is just very busy now. oh, mom is just busy
Mm.
now, but we are sure that if we need to see them, they will be available
They're
for us.
available. Thank
The
you. Thank
confidence
you
will be
very
there.
much. Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to acknowledge our viewers. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Please, if you have not shared this video, help us to share it because Mrs. David's here this afternoon. We'll be doing some announcements, and I know you want to hear about that. The land they are giving away, she will be sharing that with us today. So please, if you want to be you want a plot of land, yes, you better share this video so that somebody out there might see, and not just because of the land, because she has, released a lot of things today that will bless lives. Be part of somebody that will bless others by sharing this video. Thank you very much, Olaoye, for joining us this afternoon. She's saying, hello, my swagalicious MD. Wow, I love that name. Daniel, yesterday, Joy, thank you for joining. She said, this is great innovation. Thank you. Princess Fola
Thank you.
Shade, thank you very much for saying, thanks for sharing that about your family support. Very inspired. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Esther Aregba Shalate, for joining us every time. Thank you. She's saying good evening to everyone. Thank you very much. Please, if you have not shared this video, help us share this video because I believe there is something for everybody. So please, help us share this video. Right, Mrs. David. We've been talking along, from the beginning of the show, and you first started by your husband hearing from God, and receiving an instruction from God and having to follow that instruction. Now, as a woman, in the midst of all these, receiving from God, how were you able to identify your own purpose, from that of your husband purpose?
Thank you. That's a very big one. That's honestly a very big one because everybody has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
God created everybody for a purpose,
Mm.
but the purpose of women is so complicated. And if you're not careful,
Mm.
while trying to just pursue your purpose and leave every other thing aside, you may go the wrong way.
Mm.
The reason why I said that is, as a wife, except you're not ready to be a wife, except you're not ready to be married, because there's a place of submission, which is very, very important. So
Mm.
that means that no matter what your purpose might be, you were created to be an helpmeet to that man you said yes to.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that if God has now given that man a man comes to pass.
Mm.
So it's one of your purposes. It's one of the reasons why God created you.
Mm.
So that means if you are a married woman and your husband is failing in something, then you are the failure yourself.
Wow.
So identifying my purpose, personally, I have my dreams. For example, before I got married, I just wanted to be, I had a dream. That time was not the Okonjo Iweala's time, I just loved big women, career women. I just wanted to be a woman. I
Mm.
loved my professional accounting. And that was how I even started. There's the baby of ICANN, they call it 8 years. I started
Mhm.
that as early as 17 years.
Wow.
I'd already started because I wanted to pursue my career to the best. I wanted my name to be, listed
Wow.
all over the world. Let everybody know that women can achieve something. That was my
Mm.
dream. That was my
Mm.
dream. And I knew that God called me, to be a blessing to many generations. I knew that from the beginning. So when I had to come together with my husband, I had to submit
Mm.
myself I won't say, oh, I know what God wants me to be. Let me do my own, you do your own. Everybody has a purpose. You can't swallow my purpose inside your purpose. You know, that could be a very big temptation for many women, especially women who have to do things together with their husbands. So what I just did in God's wisdom, you know, I thank God for wisdom. What I did is everything I ever wanted to be, every aspiration I had, every dream that I had personally, I brought all of them inside. I tried to fashion a way to make them align with
Align.
the purpose of
That's
God
what you're
in my
saying.
husband's life.
Wow.
And now, funny enough, many people even know me more than him, you know. And he was the one God gave the assignment to. But because I put him into it 100%, I submitted every other thing. I said, if God has said this to you, then we have to make it work. You know,
Wow.
I didn't say, no, me, I don't want to be a farmer. How can I be a farmer, you know? And today, to the glory of God, so many people are farming. And that's why, like somebody, farmer Ola Olale, she just said hi to us on this platform now, and she said, "My swagalicious MD." You know, so we brought fun, we brought fun, we brought um, um, life, you know, into farming. Why should I go and be pursuing something else when I can have everything, you know, fulfilled inside this one dream? And I really
Wow.
I'm thankful for that, and I'm also appreciative. uh, I'm grateful to God for the kind of husband God gave me, who allows me to be able to exercise my dreams, you know, to be able to carry out my dreams, even while inside that purpose, that calling that God gave him. He will say, no,
Wow.
this is how we are going to do it. You can't say anything here. You know, men can be egocentric. You know what I said?
Yeah.
So as long as it will promote what we are doing, why not? Go ahead, be
Why
free,
not?
you know.
Wow.
So I really thank
Thank
God
you.
for that, for the kind of person God made him to be. I really am appreciative of that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very sure you'll be able to answer this woman. This message was sent in by Lara from Lokoja. Mrs. Moji, I envy your boldness
Yeah.
and I want to support my husband's dream as well. But I am scared
Wow.
I may not find it exciting or fulfilling. How can I be a supportive wife?
How can you be a supportive wife?
Mm-hmm.
I believe first it's by submission.
Mm,
You have to swallow your pride.
mm,
You have to submit yourself.
mm-hmm.
Then number thing, be knowledgeable about the thing you want to support him about. It's a way. For example, they always say, "Oh, if your husband loves football, thank God my husband doesn't like football." They said he's one of I don't know how men don't like football. He's one of the few men that doesn't like football, and I'm very happy about that. Thank God. So they said, if your husband loves football, then you have to know they won't be playing
Mm.
Arsenal and Manchester, and you are calling it Liverpool. So if your husband, for example, is going into importation business, for example,
Yeah.
and you want to support him in
Mhm.
that business, then
Yeah.
you have to go all out to go
Mm.
and know more, even the things he doesn't know or that he may not have time to inquire about, because you
Wow.
want to show him some support, you want to support him.
Mhm.
You now have to take the burden upon yourself to go and get to know more. Okay, my husband says he wants
Mm.
to do importation business. Okay, how did they do it? How did they go about it? What are the steps to be taken? And everything. That's the way to support. You don't just sit down because he said, oh, I want to support, and then you're waiting for him to come and say, let's move. We move.
Mm.
Sit down. You sit down. Don't talk. You don't talk, you know. That's not how to support. Supporting means that you are making the dream your own.
Wow.
So, and you are ready to give it all your best to make it work. That
Wow.
the person you are
Wow.
even supporting will be like, come on, who did God really send this thing? Is it you or me?
Me. Whose vision is it now?
So you have to be knowledgeable about it. You have to know everything about it. So as he's saying one, you are supporting. Yes, so this thing you have said, this idea you have brought, I've also gone to make some inquiries about it, and I think this is how we can do. We can even do it better like this. That's support. That's my own definition of support. Don't wait for him to come and tell you everything. Go all out to be knowledgeable about it.
Thank
Make
you.
findings, do your inquiries, make your research and everything. That's the way to support.
Thank you.
And when he makes a mistake, please, I really need to add this. When he makes a mistake, or when things are not going the way you felt it should be, please don't you ever come back and say, hey, Shebi, I told you that this thing will not work. Shebi, I've said it. Shebi, you said God told you now. You can see what is happening now. How are we going to pay the bills? How are the children going to go to school? I was doing my job. Oh, you are the one that said I should come and support you in this. Please, it's a wrong, it's a wrong thing to do. If you claim you want to support, if you don't want to support, don't kukuma support JJ. Stay on your own. But if you are supporting, then you are supporting 100%.
Wow.
So don't be
Thank
fast
you.
to point out his mistake, because his
This
mistake is your mistake as well.
is your
His failure is
wow.
your failure as well. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
very
so much.
much for that answer. I hope you have been blessed. Please, if you haven't shared this video, please, I believe you should share it right now. Right, we've got this from Joke. Joke, you say, Ma, why can't God talk to me too? Or both of us? Men always have Men always say they have heard God and expect women just to follow them. But when a woman says she heard God, they will say God is yet to speak to them. Right. Jackie wants an answer from you, Ma.
Joke, my darling, you see, the truth of the matter is that God speaks to everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
God speaks to everybody, but most of the times we have an idol in our heart. And the Bible says that when you have an idol in your heart, God will not hear you. So because your husband has come to tell you that, oh, God said we should do this thing, if you are sure, the first thing is to be sure that God really speaks to your husband. Does God really speak to your husband? Let it not be that he's just fabricating something to come and tell you because he wants you to do it together. You need to be sure that God truly speaks to your husband. And I'm sure you will know that by his relationship with God and everything. You are the better person to answer that question. Does God really speak to your husband? That's number one. But you now accepting what God told your husband, especially if it's something you don't like, that means that there is an idol in your heart. There's an idol in your heart already. You understand? It's like, okay, let me give you a typical example. In Lagos, there are so many environs in Lagos. So you have the Lekkis, and then you have the downtowns, like the Mushins, and then the outskirts. Let's say God now told your husband that God said we should relocate to I do not mean any disrespect on any area. Please, nobody should quote me wrong. I'm just trying to make an example. Let's say your husband just comes back home one day and say, hello darling, God said we should move to Mowe, you know we should move down to Mowe and go and build our house there. And you are like, why would God tell you Mowe? Why did he not tell you Lekki? you know and you're so you're like, okay, don't push me to the outskirts. So let me go and pray about it. And in your heart, you already have a Lekki, you have a building, maybe your friends are even living there and everything. You already have that in your heart. My sister, don't bother praying that prayer because God will not hear you. You already have an idol in your heart. So it will be like God is not speaking, but He won't even waste time speaking with you because you already have an idol in your heart. So if you can manage to clear the idol from your heart, you will see God speaking to you. hello, sorry about that, please. There will be
Yeah, the
no, can you
line.
hear me, please?
Yes, we can
Yeah,
hear you now.
yeah. So there will be no shaky anything. There will be no ambiguities. Everything will be very clear. God speaks to
Thank
everybody,
you.
Joke. If you ask God to speak to you, He speaks to you. But please do not have any idol in your heart when
Thank
you're trying
you.
to ask God to speak to you. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma. This person wants to be anonymous. They said, Ma, how many times do you have to fail before you can stop trying?
Anonymous, you're a very funny person. Okay. let me answer. You will, okay, how many times do you have to fail before
Fail.
you succeed at
You stop
something?
trying.
Okay.
Before you stop trying.
Okay. Okay, let me give you this very, very easy answer. The number of times you will learn to be a better person at each failure is the number of times you will have to fail.
Wow.
If you keep failing and you refuse to learn anything in
To
that
learn.
failure, then you will continue to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So that means somebody can just fail once and get it. Somebody may not even fail because, that word failure, it depends on your definition. So if you have not
Mm-hmm.
learned anything along the line, you see somebody failing 10 times, 20 times, 5 times, it's because the first failure, he didn't really sit down to ask himself, why did I fail in this thing? Was this the purpose of God for my life? Is this how I'm supposed to go about it? The people who have succeeded in this field, how are they doing it? The reason why you failed the first time is because you've not gotten some things right. So if you fail and you just feel, well, they said we will continue to fail. So let me just keep failing and then one day,
One day I'll
one day
get
God will remember me. So
it.
every time you fail, the faster you learn from a failure, the faster you stop failing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just put it this way. When you don't get something, it's just a way of God telling you that you need to do it another way. That way isn't working.
Yes.
Try another time. Try another method.
Yes.
Speak to somebody.
Yes.
You don't have to repeat another person's failure. When somebody have done
Yes.
something before, don't be too arrogant in saying, I don't want to ask how they do it. No. Humble yourself and ask. Asking will help you. People, that's why I love Beautiful Mind, because people come to share their testimony, their story, their experience, where they've made mistakes so that you don't repeat the same mistake. And that's why they share the story. So please, if you want to do something that somebody have done before, humble yourself and ask how they've done it. You might just get a bit ahead of yourself. Thank you very much, Ma. Now, let us talk about
Thank you.
extra large farm. I am excited about this. What is the vision of extra large farm? I want to hear from the
Oh,
awesome
oh, oh. Extra large farms was our vision. Like I said, we are a food and agricultural company, and we're also into empowerment. So our vision is to raise a generation of passionate farmers. That's our
Mhm.
first vision. And then the second one is to build a community, to raise a community of people who will eat healthy, live healthy, and then be
Mm.
making money in the process.
Hey,
When you
man, I
eat
want to make
healthy,
money. That's the beat I love, but
so let me not speak too much grammar about it. Everything, our vision at Extra Life is to raise an army of people who farm easy, who eat healthy, who live healthy, and then they make money in the process. And that was why I told you
wow,
that it's all wrapped around food, farming, and empowerment.
and
So
empowered.
we have been, yeah. So we've been in agri business for some time, and we have a dream to help as many people as are passionate about agri, because passion is one thing, then the reality that you meet, the reality that you meet in your passion field is another thing.
Mm,
So if you have
yeah.
passion for agriculture, or you just love to eat healthy,
Mm-hmm.
there are many people in extra large today. There are several tens of thousands of people in the extra large family, both in Nigeria and about spread over 19 countries of the world. So if
Wow.
you just love the mention of good quality natural food products, then
Mm,
then then you are welcome. If you love the
thank you.
mention of agriculture, farming, then you're welcome. If you love the mention of empowerment, you love to be a
Mm-hmm.
blessing to others, you love to take
Mm,
responsibility for the lives of for the well-being of others, then you're welcome. So that's our vision: food, farming,
thank
and
you.
empowerment. You love to farm easy, you love to eat healthy, you love to
Mm,
live healthy because you're eating healthy, and at the end of the
yeah.
day, you make money in the process. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So how can people patronize you or join Extra Large Farm?
Very easy, very, very easy. But you need to have somebody needs to refer you, because it's a
Okay.
large family, and we don't want to be too large and you don't have anybody taking care of you or looking after you. You understand?
Mm,
So that's why we made the referral compulsory, so that even if you can't have access to the top, to the management, to the office director, something like that, you will definitely have somebody that told you about the business and that made you join. So you have somebody you can look up to, like a mentor in the family, to nurture you, to help you grow in the business. So it's very easy. You just go to the website. You're interested, go to the website www.extralargefoodnetwork.org, and that's how you be a member of the family. But there are so many opportunities,
yeah, that's
all
what I
wrapped
wanted to
around.
talk about. Yeah.
Yeah,
So how
all wrapped around.
if people want to invest, how can they do this? And how are they sure of their returns?
Okay, talking about being sure of your returns,
Hmm.
I'm just going to give you very simple, simple answers to
Exactly.
talking about being sure. Number one is that God is the author of the business. You know,
Mm.
the extra large is God Himself. Is the one that is bigger than the biggest. You understand? So
Wow.
when he's involved in a thing, then you can be sure of the end. The end
Mm.
result will definitely be perfect. And that's why before you even join, Extra Large is one company I've seen in this whole world where you come and say you want to register and you are calling us, how sure is this thing? Should I go? Should I register? Should I join? And we tell you, please don't join yet. Go back, pray about it. Let God tell you. And some people find it kind of insulting, like, I can go and pray about it, because we want you to be convinced by the
Mm.
person who owns the business. He is the one to tell you. He will show you, and then people will go and come back and say, okay, I prayed about it, and now I'm convinced.
Yeah.
That's on part one. On part two, Extra
Yeah.
Large as a company has been in existence now for about 13 years in the
Okay.
agricultural world. However, at the beginning, definitely we were just doing our things solo and everything. But because of the
Mm.
so many challenges that we went through at the beginning, trying to set up, all the challenges I told you about, sourcing for
Yeah.
farm laborers, land grabbers want to grab your land,
Hmm.
you can access
Hmm.
machineries to work on your farm, you
Hmm.
can't even have the right value for whatever
Mm.
farm produce that you have labored for. Something is 50 naira in the market and it left the farm at 5 naira. You can imagine the
Mm.
huge difference. So many of us eat yam. For example, for people in Nigeria, so many of you go to the market today and buy a tuber of yam for 1,000 naira. 800 naira for just one tuber of yam. But I can boldly tell you that those tubers of yam didn't leave the farm for more than 150, 200. You know, you don't get the right value for your farm produce and all that. So because of all those challenges, as we were growing in the business, that was when we now open up some platforms in 2016 to say, okay, God has helped us at least to a certain extent, and we believe that God comforts us so that we can be a comfort to others. So we said, well, if many people will be going through all these challenges that we went through, then I don't know if there will be anybody who even wants to continue farming in Nigeria. So we said, let's create a platform, like an enabling environment, where you can be a farmer, and you will not necessarily be the one going through the stress and the hurdles and the hassles of the farm work and everything. So you can just say, oh, I want to be a maize farmer, I want to be a poultry farmer, I want to be a cassava farmer, and then we tell you the cost of running that kind of project, and then we just pay while we do the job because of our expertise over the years and experience. Then you just pay, and then you get the money as we are harvesting and everything. You get the funds back into your bank account as we are harvesting and selling. So we opened that up in 2016. um, just about 17 members at that time. People were really like skeptical. Hey, I hope this is not MMMO. I hope they will not run away with I hope they will not run away with our money, blah, blah, blah. And we don't convince people. One thing we don't do at Extra, we will not convince you. We will only lay the opportunities before you and leave you to go and make up your mind. When your mind is made up, you come back, we'll be in business together. You understand?
Wow.
So we started with that 17, with those 17 members in 2016. We didn't start agribusiness in 2016, but we opened up such platforms to people in 2016. And even out of this 17 people, there were more than half of them from the diaspora, very few from Nigeria. And it began to grow and grow. By the time we had our first end of the year Thanksgiving, we had already risen from 17 just in 1 year to over 3,000 people who were already
Wow.
farming with us. And in less than 5 years now, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, this is 2020. Right now, we are getting close to about 50,000 people, who are
Wow.
farming with us on a profitable note. And to the glory of God, we have a testimony at Extra Large. Nobody does business here and say, oh, they scammed me, oh, I lost money with Extra Large, oh, this or that. You don't hear such here, because integrity is our watchword. You
That's
understand?
it. Thank
So
you.
basically, so for people who want to invest, that's just what I can tell them.
Thank you. Somebody just texted me now asking for professionalism, that everything in Nigeria, they don't have, I can't read. It's not, their professionalism is not of standard. How are we sure that this will not be the same? I think they're trying to ask about your professionalism, how you work, the structure, and all that.
Okay. Talking about professionalism, I don't know what the person is referring to as professionalism, because professionalism, especially in our own field, especially with what we
Yeah.
are doing at Extra Large, we are farmers, but we are farmers like no others. We are farmers who have combined a lot of things, a lot of human resource, personnel management, and everything. Everything is present here. Talk about accurate accounting, it's here. Talk about professionalism, professionalism in the field of agriculture, it's here. Talk about client support management, it's here. Talk about customer service relation, is here. Talk about service delivery, sales, marketing, is here.
Wow.
You understand? So
Wow.
it's not
Yeah.
just farming in one layman's language. It involves a lot of things. And what we have done is to bring in people from different walks of life who are well experienced in all those fields that we have mentioned, to manage all those different capacities. And the best the best teacher is experience. The more you go forward in what you're doing, the more knowledgeable you become in it, the more professional you become in it. Because what do they mean by this? Professionalism is not something you learned in school.
Yeah.
You don't claim to be a professional because you studied something in school. You claim to be a professional because now you have been practicing that thing for a number of years, and you can, if they wake you up from your sleep and say, oh, you said you're a carpenter or you are a furniture maker, you claim to be a professional. From your sleep, you can be able to tell them, oh, this is how I make my dress. You understand that? To me, that's professionalism. And if we have been doing it for 13 years to the glory
Yeah.
of God and have been sustaining it profitably, then you will be the judge if we are professionals or not.
Or not. Okay. Mrs. David is saying, you join us and you let us know if we are professionals. Right. I love that. So where are you based, ma'am? Because people might want to come and see you, check on you. Where are you based? Where can they find you?
We are in Nigeria, extra large farms in Nigeria, and we are spread across almost all the states in Nigeria. However, we have our head office in Ota, Ogun State, just beside, just not too far from Winners in Ota. That's where our head office is. And we have our farm locations, different farm locations spread across majorly the western part of Nigeria. In Ogun State alone, we have about 6, 7 farm locations, spread across, because we have an integrated farm, that's our training center, also in Ota. But we now have our dedicated farms to certain projects. For example, we have the cassava farms, and all we are just doing there is cassava. We have the maize farms, we have the fish farms. So we have all those ones in different locations. So that's for the farm. And then we have an office in Lagos at 82 Allen Avenue in Ikeja. That's to serve people in Lagos. We have in Ibadan. We have centers also. When I mean centers, I mean people who have come to join us in Extra Large and have taken the passion, they have taken up the dream to become theirs. And you see many of them going across all the nations of the world to establish offices in the name of Extra Large. So we call them Extra Large
Wow.
centers. We have such in so many parts of the country, Abuja, Warri, Port Harcourt, different places like that. Those ones are run by our members who are so passionate and have given themselves the assignment to be a helping hand to other people who want to know about Extra Large around their neighborhood. But basically, we are majorly in Lagos and Ogun State, though we have offices in other parts of Nigeria as well. So if you go to the
Okay.
website, you get our contact there. You
All
can
the
now,
information.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. This is my, well, second to the last question. So, do you have any plans of having branches, not a branch, branches abroad, for the benefit of us Africans in diaspora?
Yes. This year is just
Mm-hmm.
Bible says in all things we should give thanks. But
Yeah.
this year we had plans to have a tour in about 5
Okay.
countries in Europe and America this year. And as I'm talking to you now, we already have about 4 people who have already set up everything to open up their extra large centers in the UK, Ireland, some about 3, 4 states in the US, Canada, Dubai, um, trying to remember, even Saudi Arabia,
Wow.
Bangladesh, um,
Hmm.
um, 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 you know, countries like that, Germany,
Mm-hmm.
France, Portugal, yes. So definitely we have plans to be everywhere. But the way we run Extra
Sure.
Large is that the moment you join to become a member
Mm.
of Extra Large Farms, that day Extra Large becomes yours as well. So you can be able to operate like a CEO, like the MD of Extra Large for your passion. So that helps us to be able to spread to so many places, you understand? So we definitely have plans, and by God's grace, you know, thanks is already getting out of the way now. So you see most of those centers and offices opening up all across other countries of the world, and we'll be updating the information on our website so people in the diaspora can always get to know about it.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you. And this is my last question, to you today. We've talked about people not being afraid and, of failure and for them to start small. Can you share a word of encouragement, to people that are still not clear of everything that we've said and they're still timid, they're still afraid, they still have that tiny bit of fear of starting small? What would your word of advice be to them this afternoon?
Looking unto Jesus, who is the author and finisher of your faith. Don't you ever think that you're going to do it on your own. Depending on yourself is what will make you feel faster. So as you are going into that new project, you're going to embark on a new vision or dream for yourself. You have to look unto Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of your faith, so that whatever challenges you get to meet along the way, know that you are not alone and that somebody is there with you, and he's not just a man who cannot solve the challenges you're going to face. He is a man who is able to solve all problems. So going into a new business, going to try out something new, a new project or whatever, with the consciousness of the fact that somebody is right there with you, will help you so much. Sorry, that's Nigeria for you, NEPA. Power outage. You understand? So going into that business, knowing that somebody is right there with you, you're not alone. It will really help you, to give you so much confidence. To give you so much confidence that even when you fail, you know that you failed for a reason. He's trying to teach you something. That's why you failed. So please don't ever forget, you are not in that vision or new project or that new business idea alone. If you have invited God, He is right there with you. He's the author and the finisher of your faith.
Thank you. And lastly, I saw an advert that you're giving away plot of land. I believe you should give some of my guests and my viewers, how can they enter for this competition? Is it a competition or what? You have to talk about it, because I told them they are going to get a free land.
We're even going to be talking about that later today. I have another presentation on Facebook and YouTube. They can follow us on that at Extra Large Farms TV on YouTube and Extra Large Farm on Facebook. So I believe you can also help to share that to people who are watching us right now. Yes. A lot of people are like, no, it can't be true. How come you are sharing land? You are dashing people land. It's not false. It is very, very true. We are giving out land to anybody who is interested in farming. So how do you qualify for that? First, you have to be a member of Extra Large Farms. Don't forget that what we are doing in this Extra Large community, let me just give you a clearer picture of what we are doing. We've told you we are farmers and we're also into food production. So as we are raising the large community of people who love to eat healthy, we are giving ourselves an assignment or a watchword. Yes, let me put it that way. A watchword that in this community, we are not permitted to eat anything from outside. So no matter how many we will be, how many millions we will get to be, we are not permitted to eat anything from outside. Let's say, for example, you right there, right now, you love to say, oh, this evening I'd like to just have some plantain and vegetable and fish for dinner.
That's tonight. How did you know what I love to eat?
Because I'm a prophetess.
You're right.
I'm not just Farmer Moji, I'm prophet of food. So he said, I want to have plantain and fish and some vegetables. So that means right inside the extra large family, somebody is a plantain farmer.
Okay.
Right inside the extra large family, somebody is a fish farmer. Right inside the extra large family, somebody else is a vegetable farmer. Somebody, you need oil to fry the plantain if you're going to fry. Somebody is going to be the oil, the person that. Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So everyone in this family is not permitted to eat anything from outside. So whatever it is that you want to eat, somebody is right here in this family that produces it.
Okay.
We are one nation. So now we have now put ourselves as, remember at the beginning I told you that God comforts you so that you can comfort others.
Others,
So
yeah.
it's one of our assignments, it's one of our calling at Extra Large, raising a generation of passionate farmers. And we said, okay, as Nigeria is has clocked 60, what is there to celebrate about Nigeria? From our own part, how can we give people a reason to celebrate Nigeria at 60?
Wow.
While also fulfilling the purpose of God for us at Extra Large. And that's why we said to ourselves, okay, we're going to give out anybody that is interested in farming. All we need is your passion. You have passion for agriculture? Okay, just go ahead. You must be a member of Extra Large. It costs you just $8,500, less than $20, So just go ahead and register to be a farmer at Extra Large. Then you can now just go and apply for the land. Just go and
Wow.
apply for the land, and then we'll give it to
Wow.
you. The only fee you
Wow.
pay is we call it intent fee.
Yeah.
So you go to the website, you register, you pay 20,000 naira for the land. That, oh, I'm interested, I'm applying to get the land for free, and that's it. We're going to give you an interim allocation schedule. You have the land, but we don't just want to
Wow.
give land to people who will now take up the land and not put it to
Farm.
use, because that's the major problem Nigeria has. The problem of Nigeria is not whether we have land to do our agriculture, but our major problem is that we are not putting our land to effective use.
Use.
You understand?
Yeah.
So we have now gone ahead to say we are not just giving you the land. We are also going to train you or your representative. You are free to send in anybody you wish to send in as your representative. We train you or your representative on what to do profitably on that plot of land. Apart from that, we're going to be giving you live mentorship and consultancy on that farmland. But apart from
Wow.
all this, you see, say, okay, me, I'm in UK. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
even in Nigeria, but I go to work very early and I come
Yeah.
back late in the evening. I don't have time to go and do this farming, even though you're giving me the free land. What am I going to do? So we say, don't worry. You will now pay for cultivation, the amount
Okay.
of money we need to cultivate that land. The land is yours. We have given it to you free. It's yours. But we don't want that land to fallow. So while you are making up your mind on what you're going to do or when you will have time to come and start working on the farm by yourself, we have said, okay, don't worry, for the next 4 years, we will even go ahead and cultivate that farmland on your behalf and be sending the returns of whatever we are harvesting from that farmland straight into your bank account. So you only pay
Wow.
for the cultivation fees of what you do on that farmland while we cultivate the farmland on your
Why you
behalf.
for cultivated? Wow.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. If you're watching today, I believe you better grab this opportunity. If was you, well, that's what I would do. I would grab the opportunity before a lot of people will go and apply for it. As you're
So they
watching
just go
now
to www.extralargefarms.com. Just go and register there.
and register there. Wow, thank
Yes.
you. Thank you very much, Ma, for
Thank you,
granting this
Master.
interview. I know you're very busy and I do really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
I believe you've been
Thank you so
able to
much.
answer some questions, on the heart of a lot of people. And I know that
Yes.
if people still have questions, you can send it on the link and you will see it and you'll be able to answer the questions. Thank you very much. I do really
Thank
appreciate it.
you so
And
much.
please help us extend our greetings to Daddy for allowing you to do
Yes.
this. So men can say,
We
no,
have him
I
here.
haven't seen any interest
We have
in this
him
house.
here.
Oh, thank you,
We have him
sir. Thank
here.
you
Can
very
you
much,
see
sir.
him?
I can't see him yet. Thank
I'm
you
just
very
showing
much,
you his
sir.
photograph. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you for having.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I believe you will watch this video and we will know that we've acknowledged him. Thank you, sir, for allowing mommy to fulfill a purpose. That's one of the things that you said. Some women are not, they don't have that opportunity for their husbands to allow them to fulfill purpose. So we have to appreciate
Yeah.
our husbands that are allowing
Yeah.
us to be the woman God wants us to be. So thank you very much,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, ma. And for you all out
Thank
there,
you.
as you have joined us today, I do really, really appreciate your time. Again, don't forget that we are doing a 1 month giveaway of a
Wow.
free unlimited data, minutes, and text. And this is courtesy of Ivy Mobile UK. You know, call the mobile number on the screen right now and quote the code BM 2020 to get your own free 1 month unlimited data, unlimited minutes, and unlimited text, unlimited everything, at a cheaper price, courtesy of Ivy Mobile. Please don't forget to call them, and you can call them on 0800 275 1975. Give that number a call. I'll call the number again. Call this number to claim yours now. 0800 275 1975. Beautiful Mind is giving away 1 month of free unlimited data, minutes, and text. And this is courtesy of Ivy Mobile UK. Please call them now to claim yours. All you need to give them is a code of BM 2020. Thank you very much. Thank you. I do really appreciate your time and your support. Please help us share this video for the benefit of people that are not around to see it and people that would need it. You don't know. Somebody on your wall might just need it. Thank you. I want to say thank you to my producer, AY the Ambassador, for putting all of this together. And all of you out there, thank you for joining us. I love you all. Until next week, when I will be bringing another informative and educative topic your way. I remain your host, Adeyinka Adeomi. Bye for now.